Whether we're determined to teach, persuade, reassure, or reason with one another, our tool of choice to achieve this goal is through the use of language, the concept of which became so secondhand to us that we sometimes forget to really give it the contemplation it deserves. For instance, when asked to think about what humans' greatest achievements are, creation of language is typically not the one that comes to mind first, although all the other things we do think of would never be possible without it. And in his book, Sapiens, Yuval Noah Harari explains how our predecessors' basic use of language eventually unlocked an ability that would separate us from other animals and ultimately change the world forever.
Now suppose I've managed to convince you, perhaps, that yes, we control the world because we can cooperate flexibly in large numbers. The next question that immediately arises in the mind of inquisitive listener is how exactly do we do it? What enables us, alone of all the animals, to cooperate in such a way? The answer is our imagination. We can cooperate flexibly with countless numbers of strangers because we alone, of all the animals on the planet, can create and believe fictional stories. And as long as everybody believes in the same fiction, everybody obeys and follows the same rules, the same norms, the same values.
This is something entirely unique to Sapiens, and this newfound ability was the key in bringing humans together on a scale that any other species has yet to achieve. Harari states, "As far as we know, only sapiens can talk about entire kinds of entities that they have never seen, touched, or smelled. And this ability to create an imagined reality out of words enabled large numbers of strangers to cooperate effectively." Today, we have branched out to roughly 7,000 different languages, and therefore just as many ways to express our ideas. Inevitably, this led to the occasional misunderstanding, and ironically, the tool that brought us together to conquer the world is also the one to divide us, which is one of several important themes addressed in the movie Arrival. As it is typical for first contact movies, the message is that humanity works far better together than we do apart, and sometimes it takes the threat of an outside force to remind us of that fact. However, what separates Arrival from these other films is that it doesn't just acknowledge how disjointed we are, but it provides a remedy in a unique and beautifully sentimental way. Abbott and Costello, the pair of heptapods trying to communicate with linguistics professor Dr. Louise Banks, come in peace, and there also come bearing gifts. And while other films might prioritize advanced modern technology as a gift from an alien species, in Arrival, the gift is language.
Does the language we speak shape the way we think? Now, this is an ancient question. People have been speculating about this question for forever. Charlemagne, Holy Roman Emperor, said, "To have a second language is to have a second soul."
The message here isn't to simply band together in order to achieve a common goal. That is not a new concept for our species, and I think we've proven ourselves capable of it many times, but rather to be open-minded in order to achieve what our predecessors were able to do all those years ago: unlock a new ability that will change the world.
So what I wanted to find out is, remember, we're thinking about how people think about time. And the question is, if you think about space differently, does that also mean you think about other things differently? Like, do you also think about time differently? So here's a task. I give people a set of pictures like this. These happen to be pictures of my grandfather at different ages. I scramble them up, I give them to you, and I say, lay these out on the ground so that they're in the correct order. Well, here they're displayed in the correct order as English speakers perceive the correct order, from left to right. That's the way time goes for us. Now, of course, this left to right order relates to writing direction, right? There's nothing intrinsically left to right about time. Is time horizontal or is it vertical? Well, here's a study comparing English and Mandarin speakers. In both English and Mandarin, you can use horizontal terms to organize time. But in Mandarin, vertical terms are also quite frequent. So in Mandarin, the past is up and the future is down. So the up month is the last month and the down month is the next month. So does that mean that Mandarin speakers actually think about time vertically more so than English speakers do?
Denis Villeneuve took this concept to another level by presenting the alien language and thereby their perception of time in a circular fashion, experiencing past, present, and future all happening at once. And this is also the way the movie is presented to the audience, allowing us to once again create a mutual fiction and collectively share this abstract new fantasy that will allow us to think differently and thereby make significant changes to our existence. And what greater gift is there?
And I think this shows that there are some cross-linguistic differences that are not just a matter of degree, that one group does it more or less this way or another way. They're just qualitatively different ways of organizing the world that people have. And that, for me, this is the very exciting thing, is discovering these other ways that you could organize the world, other ways that you could see the world. It's right there, and it's almost like you get to inhabit another universe, another parallel universe, just by discovering a different way of seeing the world.